In this next video, we're going to work on setting up our maze background or our 2D game. And the first thing we're going to want to do is in our hierarchy, click on Create, go to 2D Object and Tile Map. When this tile map pops in, you're going to see Grid, and it's going to have a down arrow next to it. By clicking on this, you'll see the grid pop up. I'm going to drag my first tile that I want to use and make it a child of the grid. And you're going to notice that it has a snapping effect, and that is great, but that our tile sizes are bigger than our squares. By clicking back on the grid and coming over to our inspector under grid, we want to change these to about 1.25. This is a number that I worked out, and I believe most of the squares you guys are going to be using should work. I can come back over to my tile, click on it, and now move it back into position. Using my rect tool is the easiest one at this point in time. I'm going to come back over to my inspector, and I'm going to do a search for a box collider and add that. And this is the only time we need to add a collider while we're setting up a maze, because we're going to start to duplicate these and move them over to the side. Now I'm going to make my path. Those green will be my boundaries, and with this tan or desert type effect, I'm going to use that to be my path. So I want to click and drag it up into my grid so it becomes a child of that. And now I can start duplicating using Command D to duplicate each of these tiles to create the path. I'm also going to go outside a little bit of the camera box if necessary. It is entirely up to you how you make your maze, but we want to make it kind of difficult and make sure that they snap. I have the video sped up a little bit so you can kind of get an idea of that this will take a little bit of time. And once you have your maze done, then go and start duplicating on the grass. And again, just coming and clicking on this grass here, just hit Command D and start moving them where you want them to go. And all these grass boxes or grass tiles all have a box collider on them. So this creates the boundaries that we need, that we cannot go outside of these boxes for our game. So I'm just filling in all these holes and creating a boundary all the way around the outside at the same time. We're going to come up to File, Save Scene As. We're going to save this as a brand new scene, and I'm going to call this one Maze, and it's going to save right into the assets. Coming into our main camera, we're going to work on our orthographic size, and I'm going to zoom in so that I see a little bit of the screen. In game mode, I'm going to change the aspect ratio to a 16:9. And this will put you at the end and ready to add your player.